It would have been nice to see the moon last night next to Jupiter, but unfortunately the weather didn't cooperate. Low tide at sunrise and sunset when you have a new or full moon, and that makes high tide at midday and midnight. 52 degrees at 7:30. October 30th, just past the full moon. We've taken Rex off the bench. He wants to dress for today's game. Stop, Rex. And Steve. Rex, come on, take it easy. He's sort of supposed to be on the injured reserve list, but he chose to dress for today's game. And dressing for today is a sweatshirt and a hat. It's drizzling, it's fogging. There's not much wind. It's coming in from the east this morning at low levels of the atmosphere. Once again, we're talking about differential advection. Let's go to that velocity azimuth display. There it is. It shows how the wind is moving from the east-southeast at the lowest levels of the atmosphere, below 1,000 feet, and then up around, even 10,000 feet. It's from the west and southwest, up to hurricane force once you get up to 15,000 feet. And up in the sky, the air is warmer than down near the ground. Let's go to the summit of close to Mount Washington this morning. It's raining at 25 degrees. That's because up another couple thousand feet, there's a warm layer that's just about freezing. It's a very shallow, cold layer of air, an inversion. Cold air is more dense than warm air, and that's how this happens. We talked about it, a freezing rain situation on top of Mount Washington. The cold is deep enough, thick enough, once you get to Greenville, Maine. Check out this webcam this morning at the Greenville Junction. Mike McCormick, a huge railroad fan, the webcam man. Also Sugarloaf, right on the edge of the rain-snow line. So it is central and northern Maine getting something other than rain. Here is the high-resolution rapid refresh model showing green is rain, purple is ice, and blue is snow. You can see that rain-snow line pretty far north. Even the mountains of northern Vermont are not cold enough for snow today. That will be changing, but it's going to be drying. So how much snow are we getting today? First day of accumulating snow. I think maybe some roads get plowed in northern Maine, especially northwestern Maine, where it is cold enough for accumulations of 3 to 6 inches generally. Here's the temperature map this morning. You can see there's the freezing line, pretty close to where it was yesterday around Rangeley, Maine. So this is system number 2 today. Yesterday was system number 1. And this one's not done really until tomorrow. And it does turn dry for trick-or-treating. Looks kind of cold and dry for trick-or-treating. Not that windy. It's looking less windy this week than we were thinking before. I'm going to make a move for the rain gauge here. Yesterday, some spots picked up a ½ inch of rain, especially on the coast of Rhode Island. So we were kind of on the edge of it yesterday. This second low that's going by today is moving a little further to the north. So it's actually warmer today than yesterday at most levels of the atmosphere. So when I went to bed yesterday, I had about a 0.2 or so, and since then I've picked up another 0.2. So we're looking at 0.4 of an inch of rain. October, not a particularly wet month. Still working on the garden. I knew it wasn't going to be freezing today, so I didn't get as much done as I wanted to yesterday. Still some cherries in there to be picked. So this next system, I talked last week about the difference between an Arctic front and a polar front. Arctic fronts are colder. So even though this front with the rain, here it is on radar, extending from northern New England all the way down to Mexico, this is no longer an Arctic front. The air has modified to what we call a polar front. So polar cold, not extreme cold, coming into New England on the backside of this front. So let's go to that Boston 3 to 5 day from weather.us. The red line is the temperature. The blue line is the dew point. You can see that the rain ends. The sun comes out. Tomorrow, the dew point goes into the 20s. So tomorrow night, anywhere that can go calm and with the building barometer, high barometer cold, there'll be many areas on Tuesday morning that are calm and have a hard freeze. I'm thinking from about Worcester County and points north for that. And otherwise here in Boston, it points to Cape Cod. I don't think we get a hard freeze. Boston pretty close to 32 on Thursday morning. But what happens between Tuesday and Thursday? We've been talking about it all along. Last week, the euro had a
phasing of the streams with the polar and Arctic stream phasing with the subtropical stream, and it had feet of snow for the hills of New England. That was about 3 or 4 days ago for this Tuesday night, Wednesday situation, and the GFS was just said high pressure, nothing's going to happen. Well, they were both wrong. The GFS and the Euro now have come together with a weaker low pressure system, just beginning its phasing as it moves well southeast of our benchmark of 40 degrees north, 70 degrees west latitude. We call that the benchmark. That's where our biggest storms come from. It is a progressive system with a positive tilt, fast-moving trough. So even though there's a very cold vortex coming across the Midwest, I mean, look at it on our Weather Prediction Center map coming in tomorrow night there into the Midwest, and Tuesday morning in the Midwest. But it's going to sort of try and shift its energy from one low that's coming out of the Midwest into the other low that's going to be well southeastern Nantucket, and they both merge too little, too late. So we are going to have some mixed precipitation, yeah, maybe even some sleet or snowflakes in eastern Massachusetts, the coast of Connecticut to Cape Cod on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And then that system really races away, even though it's strengthening. The wind is not going to be as strong as it looked before, so it's not going to be a driving hard freeze on Wednesday night, Thursday, but it will be a freeze. And then that high pressure system settles off to our south, back to our national picture here. High pressure goes off to your south, and it doesn't take long for that very cold air to return as a west-southwest flow on Friday, with temperatures going back up. And then as for the weekend, yesterday I mentioned the GFS was warmer than the Euro. The Euro now looking kind of mild this weekend. That's nice. Clocks go back on Saturday. At least the sun will come up earlier. And there'll be a front to our north, and that's going to be one front coming in next Sunday with a shower or two, and then a stronger low goes farther north with a stronger front coming through Monday. And then here, this is the Euro showing some serious action. And that's now day 8 and 9. Next Monday and Tuesday, a strip of heavy snow and coastal rain. I got to tell you, the GFS is farther north. It's going to be fun watching the difference of the two. I only look at the GFS occasionally to see if it matches up with the Euro for things. I don't generally show the GFS out past 10 days because we know it's a crapshoot, and you cannot predict the weather past 10 days. Yesterday, for comedy, I showed the GFS 16-day snowfall with 47 inches of snow over the mountains of western Massachusetts. Well, let's show that again this morning. 0 inches. So let's see, if we add up 0 and 47 and divide by 2, that's 23. But we're going to have to do that every day until we get there. Instead, let's just stick with the Euro. And the Euro, I guess I can show the snow map. It does show that strip of snow coming across central and northern New England. But that's day 8 and 9. And so very low confidence on that. Everyone asks me, which model's doing better? Well, they both are losing, in my opinion, because the Euro had a huge storm for us on Tuesday night, and the GFS had high pressure and dry, and it's going to end up in the middle. So that's what you got to do. You got to do the blend. Anyhow, yesterday I was out. I thought it would be a good day to make a soup. Why do I go to the grocery store at noontime on a Sunday, on a football Sunday? It was fast, and it was actually kind of fun. And then kind of fiddling and diddling, making my soup, and hoping the Patriots might do okay. And the first quarter was okay, wasn't it? And I kind of go back and forth, even though it was kind of damp and chilly outside. I was outside, and of course I'm making time lapse of marine traffic. The huge red tanker went by, Jupiter Star. It would have been nice last night if we had a clear sky, because the moon and Jupiter would have put on quite a show for us right next to each other. And tonight they're pretty close together again too, but I think we're still gray. So tomorrow night, Jupiter will come up before the moon, as we are going into a waning moon, gibbous moon. That's called waning gibbous, when it's still big, but it's getting smaller each night. Let's check this thermometer down here just for the fun of it. What do we got? 50 degrees. So we have an inversion. It's warmer up in the sky. High barometer chill. Storm just misses on Tuesday night. And then fairly quiet into the weekend with about 48 hours of snowmaking for Killington. So we'll be keeping score on that. Talk to you later. Do you care that it's raining, Steve? Let's go inside, all right? Come on. Steve, let's go. This way. Here? You want to stay out? All right. Rex and I are going in. You're going to get soaked. Rex, you want to go in? Yeah, I'm sure you do. All right? Ready? Come on. He's a good boy. I don't even really work during the week. Somehow I find myself at the store on Sundays, midday. How do I do that? Why do I do that? I'm crazy. In and out though, in like 7 minutes. Pays to know what you want. I love Trader Joe's. Rainy Sunday. Everyone wants to make soup. That's the goal for today. It's a soup kind of day. Soup, football, and working out in the garden. Intend to get down some fall fertilizer today. Those are the homegrown pumpkins. They're barely gonna make Halloween. That's the only mum that made it from last winter. Hopefully these ones will last. And this is from Angela's garden. This is what's inspiring today's soup. That and the weather. T-Rex, yeah. Patriots got picked off here at the end of the first half. Oh my goodness. It was a promising first quarter anyway. And we get soup for the second half. Meantime, we're going to go out and do a little yard work in the raindrops. Just because it's Sunday, and I always do yard work on Sunday. Halftime. The wind has really let up down near the ground from the east-northeast, but up in the sky, up around 30,000 feet, it's actually more than 100 miles an hour from the west. And I think there's a little surface low going right over us right now. Oh, yeah. Snowing down to 1,500 feet in northern Vermont, but that's the northern edge of the precipitation for wave number 1. This is wave number 1 today. Wave number 2 goes a little further north tomorrow. Differential advection day 2 incoming. Hoping for a better outcome in the second half for the Patriots. They had a good first quarter. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Patriots actually did get a field goal, but then 2 seconds later. Steve. Steve wants to go out. Here's your leash. Time-lapse time. A couple of tugboats coming in. Assume there's going to be a big ship going out. Almost 3:45, I think. Patriots are still down by 2 touchdowns. What else would you expect going into Halloween? Just watching the end of the Patriots. Pretty ugly end. A possible injury, but I guess he's okay. And Patriots lose by 2 touchdowns. Swept by Miami. We had some bird action. 51 degrees right now. 30 degrees colder than 24 hours ago. It was 9 minutes. Not really what I expected. That cloud, I thought that edge cloud there up on the left now, thought maybe that might be high enough that the air was coming from the west, but it's not. So that's below probably 3,000 feet where the air is coming from the east. And well above that, it's coming from the west, creating shear and sky waves. Air on the bottom side of the cloud is going one way, top side of the cloud is going the other way. Sky waves. Jupiter Star departing Massachusetts via Fall River and Hingham Bay. Destination the Bahamas. Doesn't say when it's going to get there, but it's heading into a pretty good storm. Flag Liberia. Length 183 meters. So that's more than 550 feet. Drawing 8 meters of water, more than 30 feet. Just let it go. Registered in Liberia. Call sign D5, Zulu, Michael 7. 15 minutes in, some nice gnat sound from that little tug that just went by. Little from here. How are the clouds doing? Let's keep it going. "24 minutes from in front of the house to the hull gut. If I were to get in the car right when it went by the house and started driving, I may have been able to see it go through.
tanker made it there as fast as I could drive there. Hope you enjoyed this Sunday afternoon time lapse. More exciting than watching grass grow. Less frustrating than watching the Patriots try and beat the Dolphins. Hopefully we get some good clouds out of that too. All right, first snow day in central and northern Maine today. Well, it's actually Sunday, but this is airing on a Monday. You know the drill. Thanks for watching. A lot of editing. Put this together. See ya.